our Pika community, our Pika masterclass today. So today we have two amazing creators in the AI space, LeMoon and Ethereal Gwirl. So yeah, do you guys want to say hi?
Hi everyone.
Yeah, so today they will be sharing their experience in how to like create stories with AI. And we'll have an amazing presentation and then followed with questions and like follow with Q&A. Okay, so do you guys want to get started?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Can you guys see that? Melody, set up?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
It's small
Okay.
though, but I can see it.
Okay. Are you able to expand it? I think there was an option if you click on the screen to expand.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start recording.
Melody, just let me know and I'll hit the next screen when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Midnight Odyssey movie that we collaborated and co-created together today. And we're going to discuss how we went about tackling a project of this size because it's about 10 minutes long, and I guess tips for how to maximize Pika usage as well. So I'm Dina. I go by Ethereal Gwirl, and this is Melody, who's here with me. She's LeMoon.
Yeah, hi everybody. So yeah, if you can go on next slide.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are gonna go through how the project initiated and then our process creating everything from the story to how we used tools and which tools and prompts and everything. So next slide. So some people can't see the screen.
Keep going. You're good.
Okay. So yes, this is us. And so I'm LeMoon, and she's Israel Girl, and we're both fellowship daily artists. So it's artist. How do you say that? Group. On mainly on Twitter, championing the AI video art. So we knew each other from Instagram like a while ago and just became friends as we are both mothers and AI fans. So yeah, it clicked pretty fast.
Yeah. I think there was just a common ground, and being mothers, there was a lot of like ideas and overlapping themes and similarities in ideas. And so it was kind of a partnership that has really taken off. So this was our first project together was on Instagram, and it was called the Midnight Collective.
Yeah, we did that.
It was yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, more than a year ago. And like AI video wasn't just a thing when we initiated that.
When we started, it was the concept was to tell stories through a carousel, the image carousel on Instagram, and then I think like a month or two later, video started coming out, and that was really exciting because we were able to take these stills and work them into videos.
And then we started making more projects. I think you can go on the next slide. Yeah. So
Yes.
we did already 3 other films together. The first one was Patty's Cake, a small horror film. It was cute, but looking back, we're way better now. And so what brought us together again was the Gen 48 competition organized by Runway. And last time we did Homecoming, it didn't place, so we wanted like a revenge. And we said, okay, we're going to do this thing together um, until we win something. So the last edition we did the normal misadventure of Daisy May. We really loved this one. It didn't place, but it's running in the AIFF competition as well, so we'll see what it can do. Where I think we want to do a small series about this one. So I've put the videos, but I feel we don't have time to watch everything. So maybe if you're interested, it's on both of our Instagrams. We can send you links. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna get into Midnight Odyssey. Again, it's 10 minutes long, so we're not gonna play the whole thing. We'll get into some of the scenes as we go throughout. These are some of the clips that Melody had generated through Pika. And you can see, you know, we used it for a variety. The creatures, she used it for, there is a drag race scene. You can see the cards. Are they playing, Melody? I can't tell.
Yeah, it plays.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, these are the ones that Melody had generated for various different scenes. And then on the next slide,
so it gives you
I
also
have some that I had generated.
Yeah, no, so it gives also a feel from the film if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's many different styles throughout that we really wanted to play with. Different types of visuals, even though this is a nod to like old school fantasy, it was like an opportunity for us to see what AI can do now, because everything has really progressed and come a long way.
I see a lot of people not seeing the screen share. We are recording everything, so I think you could see it on YouTube later. Yeah, so this is our influences, what influences the film. So this is everything we both love, like all the dark fantasy movies from the 80s, the 90s, also all the ones like The Wizard of Oz, like Dark Crystal, Neverending Story, Princess Bride, Labyrinth, and also like we put a lot of Easter eggs in the film, like the Gremlins. There are quotes from Indiana Jones. Also, like RuPaul Drag Race, and a strong also synthwave 80s feel. Yeah, this is both us, and we thought AI is the perfect way to bring this to life again.
Okay, so we're going to discuss the process a little bit. Some of the tools that we used, a lot of it was images first created with Midjourney. And we had initially started, well, we'll get into that, but we initially started with version 5. I use Suno. I know you use Stable Audio. I still haven't really gotten a chance to experiment with that, but that was used for I think you said the intro, right? Intro and outro songs?
Yeah, it's Stable Audio, and the song, the theme song is Suno, but it was Suno V2. So we got pretty good output with this. For the voices,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. We used a mix of all three. I think, Runway was where we found Moxie's voice. 11 Labs is where we used the Loon, the Moon Witch. We had found her voice there. And Full Journey, I think you trained a voice on that, right?
Yeah, I trained a
Or
voice.
was that Runway that you trained?
No, I trained a voice on Runway.
Oh, okay.
For the drag queen, because there wasn't any voices with that kind of accent and talkative gay accent way, so we had to train one.
Yeah, no, I've only ever trained, well, I haven't trained a voice. I cloned my voice on 11 Labs, which is also an option if you're looking to do voice work and you don't want to actually do it. It's pretty good.
And we didn't have the lip sync from PikaLabs. It just got out.
I know.
Would have been awesome.
Reusing some. Yes. I thought about redoing some of the scenes, but I feel like there's a magic that we captured right now with it. So maybe if there's a sequel. And then video. So yeah, we used both PikaLabs and Runway to animate the images that we had. Upscaling, we used Topaz and Magnifique. I don't know which way to say it. Editing was CapCut, and then writing, we used ChatGPT to aid in our writing to assist us. So as far as writing, we had the hero's arc. That was our main basis for kind of planning out the formula. We had an idea of what we wanted, but we needed help organizing it. And so that's where we used ChatGPT to help kind of create the hero's arc and clean things up for us to have a better understanding of what we were going to follow. We blended our ideas into one big story. Times things would change and you have to be flexible, as everybody here knows with AI. Sometimes your vision just doesn't translate into AI and you have to pivot in a way that's going to help the story. And there's so many times where you have like an amazing idea and it just does not, it can't be told the way you need it to with AI. So you can get close, but sometimes you need to kind of pivot so that the watcher is able to understand what's happening.
Yeah, also sometimes AI just brings something new to the table and you didn't know you needed. So
yes. Yeah. Let me see. And then the dialogues. Yes, we wrote the dialogues that we cleaned up as well. I think we cleaned that up less so with ChatGPT, but just revising it, especially once we had the whole thing pieced together, rewatching it, it became clear where something might not have been as clear to the viewer as it should have been. And then we'd have to go back in and reformat the lines so that the viewer could understand it better.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the magic with AI is that if you're shooting a real life film, you can't do this. You have to have your dialogues, the final ones, ready once you shoot. Here we were able to change things once the film was almost finished. So this is like the kind of versatility it offers, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. You can go back in and just kind of tweak things as ideas come up, or you realize something's not going to work and you need to, there's a gap now in the script that you need to fill. So the style, we knew initially already that we wanted to do a tribute to 1980s like dark fantasy. So we already had the idea for that. It was finding the character, and a character that would be able to be replicated enough. For those of you who use Midjourney, you know that the character reference feature isn't out yet. So sometimes some characters are easier to replicate and have consistent or be really close to throughout. So we were playing with that for a while. And it wasn't until V6 came out that we really had fine-tuned the characters and the direction we were going with visuals and the prompts. And then we both wanted to really add personal touches. For me, that's puppets. I'm very into puppets and dolls and, like, you know, Fraggle Rock, animatronics. And Melody had the touch of the drag race. Not just that. You had way more personal touches, but the drag race was very you. I had no reference for it, so that was very you. And then workflow, so I kind of discussed that. We prompted for images, and then we would upscale everything to 2K, and we did that in both Melody, is it magnific or magnifique? I never know.
I would say magnifique, but it's in French, so I don't know.
I know, I keep saying magnifique too, but I don't know. I don't know. But we did that, and we also did topaz to upscale. I like magnifique because I can do it on the go on my phone. And so for me, that provided even more flexibility and upscaling if I was, you know, out and about and needed to work on something.
I'm more the topaz person because I can batch things on the computer, like do 100 images at a time. So
yeah, I know it's hard for me to always get away to the computer, and so that's why, you know, I'm able to piece things together. I think initially I did a topaz batch, and then as I was generating throughout, I would just go to magnifique. So and then from there, we were animating all the images in Runway and Pika. We shared on a drive. We kept the best outputs, and we collectively edited in CapCut together. And then, yes, there were side tasks as well, the generating of music. You really worked hard on getting a main theme song, sound effects, as well as the voices.
So yeah, initially the idea came. Yeah, I brought to you like there is the you tell me there is the AIFF competition, and I told you, oh, I had written this story, The Ice Princess and the Dragon, a few months ago, and it was a mix of pop culture elements, like there was Elsa from Frozen and the zombie king from how is it called? Game of Thrones, and the dragon from Neverending Story, and everything was mixed together, and so this like ignited the idea of Midnight Odyssey.
Yeah, I think from there, that's when we started playing with the concept that maybe it wasn't necessarily frozen, but shrouded, you know, in darkness. And the issue is that, yes, it's cold, but also there is no sun, and that causes many, many problems for the kingdom that she's in. And that was the basis for why she was going to set out and try to fix what was going on in the kingdom. So with the flexibility again, initially we didn't have 3 tasks. I think you suggested that. You're a video game player, lover. So I think that really added to it. I think for me, initially, I was like, her quest is just going to be to go out there and see if she can find the evil witch. And then we kind of pivoted where she talks to the witch, and the witch was going to inform her that she needed to complete these tasks. And it ended up giving a lot more variety and content for the movie.
Yeah, I think the inspiration for that was Dora the Explorer. Sorry, it's not that sexy.
Oh, yeah. When I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Again, being influenced by kids.
Yeah.
But I love that. So also with the actual tasks and what she needed to collect, we kind of went back and forth on that for a while as well, because we wanted the items that she was going after to make sense and connect. She would need to have all 3 items. Otherwise, what was the point of going on the quest to get them? So we kept playing with different like relics that she would have to get. And at one point, we were like, she's going to get sunglasses, and maybe that helps her to see something clearly. And ultimately, we decided to have it be a part of a quest where it helps her realize that she's stuck in a labyrinth. So that's kind of the back and forth you go through with a project like this. You want to talk about Mew?
Yeah, there was initially a sidekick to Moxie, a shape shifting sidekick called Mew. And it was very cool because it was once a giant toad, then a giant bat, and then a skeletal horse, and a giant cat. And it was changing. If the adapting to the landscape and the task and everything, but we found very quickly that it was difficult to prompt 2 characters into any other scene, and it was complicating also the animation. So with the state of tools right now,
it was,
yeah, we just put it aside. Maybe in another episode, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be cool to revisit. I think that ultimately it just wasn't as cool as it was in a 10-minute short. It wasn't needed, and it wasn't really adding anything. And so it hurt a little to take it out, but it was needed to do so. Okay, so the collaborative tools that we used Google Drive, we used Discord, and we used CapCut as well. So we'll get into that a little bit. So there are a lot of ways that you can do collaborations. I've done them many different ways. I really enjoy the way that Melody, LeMoon, and I do it, which is that we have a channel that we prompt together in. It really adds another layer of like real time. Like, not only are you working with AI, but another person who has other references and other ideas that they can add to the prompt. And so you get this like nice blend of each other's style in a prompt, and you're able to work off and immediately change, oh, this prompt's not working, let's try to change this out. So there's a lot of back and forth, and I think it really benefits the film overall, and the making it feel like a cohesive project.
Yeah, we were bouncing on each other prompts, adding stuff, removing stuff, and we can't, like, the prompt wasn't, and I think it took like 1 day to find our good prompt, for the film. I think we spent almost a month writing the story, and the prompt was like this. We found it in like a few hours session. I recommend to anyone to share a Discord channel and prompt together. It's so good.
Yeah, I know it's probably like something that people would be hesitant to do, because I know prompts are very they feel very personal, and you don't want to feel like somebody's taking your prompts. But if you are doing a project like this and you, I guess, have that rapport, I think it's totally the way to go. I mean, there are so many things, and you just learn from each other, not in a way that I think is problematic. In a way, people think differently and structure prompts differently, and I think it's really helpful to see. And yeah, for a project like this, you just want it to be the best that it can be. So why not? Why not give it a try? So this is just kind of an overview of CapCut, where recently we discovered that you can share a cloud space, and it made everything so much easier because I think we had done one or two projects before we did the first Gen 48, and we did Patty's cake together. And that we were just sending our clips, our video clips, or whatever we had edited back and forth to each other, and then you would edit it together. And so by the second Gen 48, we were able to figure out that we could share a space here
Yeah, and
and
the
start
actual
uploading
timeline,
all of
yeah.
our files.
Yeah, and the actual timeline,
What?
like we could edit both on the same timeline.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. So we were able to, and I kind of have the images here. I'm not sure how many people use CapCut. I know there's a lot of different editing programs, but for this, you can see that there are like icons with the cloud showing that it's been that you can download it. And then from there, you work on it on your computer, and then you have a in the bottom right, you just want to make sure that everybody has the most recent copy of it, so that you know you didn't work on something and now they're working on the old version and things get messy. So um, yeah, but this was definitely a big game changer for us.
Yeah, so we already touched a bit of this, like upscaling the assets. It was important to upscale the images output from Midjourney because it's like 1K quality, and we wanted the film to be at least 2K. So it's a bit different with Pika and Runway, because Runway you have to input a 2K image to generate a 2K video, but in Pika you can input a 1K image and then upscale your output within Pika. So we did like upscale everything, and then if it was in Pika, we upscaled it one more time. But it's just we spent quite a bit testing all the tools to see what was animating the best, because it did animate best when we upscaled images. So Topaz is really good if you don't want to spend like a monthly fee. It's a one-time buy, and you have it, and it's run locally on your computer, so it's a good option, I think. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're not upscaling and you're having a hard time animating something, I would suggest upscaling it and trying it again, because you may get a different result. It may animate differently for you.
Yeah, because we tried also upscaling the video, right? Like editing and then upscaling to 2K with Topaz Video, but you are losing some of the details, and it didn't animate as well with the 1K images, and also like you are losing some of the effects you are adding while editing. So it's best if you upscale everything before generating. Also, what's interesting is if you're starting a large project like this, is to start generating atmospheric and abstract videos. You can use them in your editing later, like bokeh effects, fog and smoke, particles, ray of lights. So here are a few examples you can see on the screen. Just generate some random stuff with random colors, and you can always superimpose or blend um, with your video later. It's very useful. You can keep it forever and use it. Also, one of yeah, go ahead.
No,
Okay,
you can
okay.
do it. You can do it.
So, a good advice to start when you start on a large project like this is to don't focus on one images that you really like, because sometimes it won't animate. You don't know why. It won't do what you want to do. So just generate at least 3 or 4 images that you like, and then animate it all in in Pika or Runway or whatever you're using. And so this is specific to image animating, I mean. Uh, and so you're giving chances to have one very good shot by doing this. Yeah, you can. Yeah, we're Pika
Okay, so
tips.
now we're moving on to Pika specific tips. So this one was a scene that I had extended. I think the initial video I had generated in Runway, but I really love Pika's extend feature. You get different results, and I feel like it's a cleaner look. So sometimes I will take a video generated elsewhere and bring it into Pika to extend the clip. When doing that, you want to turn the motion down to a 1 or a 2 so that it has a smoother transition. And then sometimes when extending too much, the image can get a little bit faded or distorted or just change from what you wanted. So sometimes I'll get creative and I will cut and reverse maybe the tail end of the clip. If nothing's moving in the background, you can't tell. It'll just make the character move for longer. And also the clips don't have to be perfect. So I had included a video here of one of them with the frog. It was almost perfect. And you can see that at some point his head warps. He's laughing and the top of his head kind of shoots up. So with that, you can sometimes salvage these videos by cutting out those pieces and then mixing. If they line up pretty well, you can mix it so that it ends up, I have it out on the next screen. So we basically just cut out the part that wasn't good, and you would never really know.
Okay.
Do you want me to go?
No, yeah, go.
Sure. Okay. So another thing you can do to add variety to the movie is zooming out on an important item. It could have, I wrote a hug impact, but I meant huge impact. So for this one, this was the videotape relic, and you can see that it was zoomed out 4 times. And for each of those, you can also try to animate those in Pika to see the different ways that it is animating and I guess not intertwine them, but and put them in different cut scenes in the movie to change the effect and the dramatic nature of it, as well as for characters, especially with character consistency. That is very difficult. So for this, you at least have a consistent character, and it's just at different visual distances that give it some variety and depth.
Also, Pika is really good to when you hit retry, it gives different results every time. So this is not the case with Runway, for example. So it's really good when you have to generate several little bit different scenes, but from the same shot value. So the retry button is your friend, really. So we wanted to go a little bit deeper on one scene in particular, which is the final end scene. Maybe we can watch it and then go into the details. I don't have the sound for this.
There's no sound?
Yeah, no, but it's okay. It's for the images mainly.
Okay, I'll continue.
So we can see she's walking into a volcanic land, thinking about how her kingdom would look with the sun here. And then she confronts the evil moon witch Loon, and there is like a final battle scene. So this is the scene I want to explain just after this, the scene where she gets her sword out, because it was a bit really difficult to make and to make happen with slightly moving videos, because in the state of the tools right now, the characters and things don't move that much. And if you want to do an action scene, you have to take inspiration from maybe anime or cartoons, because we're very little movements, you can feel the action. So I've included a few of my Pika generation in there. So what I do usually is I just input every images I have into Pika and put the everything to. I don't touch anything except for the motion. I put it to 1 and generate once with these settings and see what comes out. Because when you have like natural elements like lavas and smoke and stuff like this, sometimes it animates really well the backgrounds, and that's just what you need. So you never know what it will animate, like the character or the environment or the lighting or anything else. So it's good to start like this. And if you see it's not satisfying, you can just like repeat at least 2 times. This is my workflow. I try at least 3 times. If it doesn't work, I start something else. So if you see the shot where she walks towards the camera with the lava behind her, you can go to the next slide. So here I tried, then added a prompt. I added walking, and then set the strain of motion to 2, because I wanted her to walk a little bit more, and then the zoom in. So then you will see the difference between the two outputs. The next slide. So this is with only motion 1. You see that the smokes are really good in the background, and then with walking, motion 2 and zoom in, you have something, the illusion of her walking towards the camera, and also kept the effect in the background. So this is really how you fine tune something. So always start simple and then add complexity to your prompt and settings. We can go to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go to the next one.
Did you want this one or you want me to?
Yeah, you can go to the next one.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
No, because I don't see the slides.
You don't?
No.
I went to the swords. Can you see the swords?
No, I don't see it. I am still in the volcanic thing.
Okay, hold on.
Do you want to try to stop share screen and then reshare
And
it
do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, let me know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Not yet. No, it's loading. But yeah, so next I wanted to explain how I did choose the sword throwing shots. I don't know if do you want me to I don't see it. I can't see it.
I think her video is also lagging. So maybe do you want to check your connection? Maybe.
Okay, hold on.
Your Wi-Fi connection.
Okay.
I can try sharing the. I can't share my screen because I'm recording it.
Yeah, my connection's okay. Hold on.
You
I
can
can
also
try
to disconnect and then come back again, like rejoin.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay, we'll see her soon. Yeah, meanwhile, are there any questions for the previous presentation? You can also use this time to maybe ask in the chat. I think sometimes Discord really has some issues with screen sharing.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm using Discord.
Yeah, Discord always have some kind of issues. Okay, do you see a question? Have you guys tried to remove to make a smooth transition from one stage to an from one stage to another? Well, what do you mean from one stage to another? Are you talking about our are you talking about their AI work or
the presentation? Maybe. Oh, 2 scenes with 3 seconds each. Personally, I don't like to extend shots. So I'm trying to make it work with the 3 seconds or 4 seconds shots, and even though I still like accelerate the videos, so it's usually 1.5 seconds because I do a x2 on on the speed, I mean. So I always try to make it work like this. And maybe Dina can answer this because I've never done it.
Okay, hi. So what is the question? To do 2 scenes between, like connect the scenes?
2 scenes with 3 seconds each. The only thing I already did was like putting 3 seconds and then putting behind the same clip but backwards, so it's like a perfect fit, and but that's it.
I haven't done that. I know I know I've heard that you can take a screen, like if you have a video that you loved, but halfway through it went off the rails, you can take a clip, like a screenshot, the image from the last part of that video, and then put that into Pika and try to animate that. And then you can try to piece those together in editing. But I don't think I've done that yet. Okay, so I'm going to try and share.
I
Screen.
can't even see your face, Dina.
Yeah, thank you for answering.
Oh.
Are you turning on your camera?
Yeah, my camera's on.
Well, let me actually leave the stage. Maybe, probably it will work. And do you want to try to share your screen too?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Hold on.
I think otherwise I can also share it. I also have the Canva link.
Okay.
Or if it doesn't work, we can still like do questions.
Yeah, you can hear me though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, the film is Midnight Odyssey.
Okay. I just got the
I think I can try to share it. No problem.
You see me? I can see me.
No, but you know what?
Okay.
I think it's okay. There was a few slides left. It was explaining how weighing your prompts within Pika and the value. Oh, it's working maybe.
Oh, it is? Good. Okay, hold on.
But
Let me get over there.
It's loading, but oh, I
Okay,
can.
let me just try and see. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
I see it from Jessie.
Sharing screen, yeah. I think
Okay, I'll get out of it then.
Yeah, I think probably you can maybe like keep talking about the presentation, and I'll just do the screen sharing.
Yeah, okay.
And if you need me to
yeah,
go to the next slide,
you can go to the next slide.
This
yeah,
one, right?
and then next, wow, this one. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So this was like this is the all the shots you can see in the action scene. So I used the sword from the bottom right at the main images, and then like took just a small piece of this image for the first images on the top left, and upscaled it really big, so to get a good resolution for the image. And so this is another trick you can use. So when you have one image, you can always take a small part of it and just upscale it and use it. So this is like the first shot was the close-up on the sword, then Moxie throwing the sword, just a shot with the sword flying. Then you have the shot with the witch casting a spell, the sword received the spell, and then the sword is like swirling back to Moxie and stab her in the heart. You can go to the next slide.
Can you guys see the full screen mode? Is this the full screen mode?
Yeah, your full screen, I think.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, just checking.
So what I did to make the sword swirling is like I took it out with Photoshop, animated only the background, and then used the PNG of the sword and animated it within the editing software, because this was impossible to happen with only AI. So sometimes you have to make those little editing, and it works perfectly. And then I also edited out the sword from Moxie when she's stabbed, because I wanted to animate the image of her without the sword, and the sword is coming in the with an animation I did by hand. You can go to the next slide. So here are some examples of what I got from just prompting throwing sword with the motion 4, because I wanted some real action in there. Zoom in, consistency 22, because I wanted the animation to focus on a sword throwing. But as you can see, it gave me men morphing, because like obviously men throw swords, I don't know. So if you go to the next slide, I added princess throwing sword, so it was a bit better, but you know you're gonna get chaos when the motion is set to 4. And so I had a woman, and I got a shot almost perfect, the one I used in the editing. And it was perfect because she had this movement back and starting a little bit forward, so it was perfect to for the editing I had in mind. You can go to the next slide, please. So as you can see here, I started with prompt with text to video only for the sword flying through the volcanic lands, and it didn't look like the it was difficult to get something similar as the images we were inputting from the prompt with Midjourney. This is the I would have wanted to use like text to video, because I feel it's a more pure way of doing video AI, like to prompt it directly. And it wasn't possible because the look wasn't just the same. But I tried. You can go on the next slide. So this is the sword throwing. So here, for example, I just input the image. The prompt was flying sword, motion to 4, and pan to right. But the original shot I got was good, but it was looking like the sword was going backwards. But it's not a problem. You just have to reverse it in editing, and it's done. You can go to the next slide. And this is what it does. Take that. And both shots edited together worked super good. So you can go to the next slide. So this is trial and error also with the shot where she received the sword. So when you always start with motion 1, and then I wanted like explosion of blood, which is really good with Pika, because I can actually prompt the word blood. In Runway, it's so moderated, so censored. I cannot even like prompt kids or children. Even if it's innocent, it doesn't go through. So here I wanted some blood, and I got good results. So the good one here after some trial and error was motion 3 with the prompt stabbed and explosion of blood shot, and zoom in. You can go to the next slide. So this is like the editing timeline, and you can see how it all comes together. Here I added like effects in post for the explosion and the spell casting on the sword, and then you can see how the sword is animated, only the PNG, and then the sword goes out from the left and it goes in from the right into Moxie's heart. So this is like, yeah, that's it. You can go to the next slide, but I think it's finished. So you can see, rewatch the action scene.
Take that, foolish child.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, if you have questions, I think
Awesome.
Dina has to go very soon.
Yeah, I have like 4 minutes, and then I have to go get my kid from school. So
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. I think the time is also pretty tight. It'll be great if you guys can answer some of the questions in the chat, but it's also good if you guys need to run too. Thank you so much for your presentation.
thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. So I can stay for some questions, a little bit if some of you have. So
All right, yeah, I have to go. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Dina.
much for.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So did you guys try to experiment with the negative switch? I don't use it. I always prefer playing with prompts and weights from the consistency with the text. I don't see what it does for me right now. I've never used it even in Midjourney or Stable Diffusion or anything. I just don't use it. Maybe it's my bad.
Maybe I think one tip for using negative prompts or negative switch is if you animate something or someone, or if you're generating someone, if you don't want the character to speak, you can maybe type speaking, talking in the negative prompt section in Pika. So
Yeah, right.
It reduces the lip movement a little bit.
Yeah, we were actually looking a lot for speaking characters, so it was very good to have this. But you're right. If I don't want them to speak, I could use that. Thank you, Pablo, for sharing the link.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Are there any more questions? Maybe we'll have one more questions before we go.
This was actually a first for me to use so much images in Pika. I'm a text to video person.
Yeah.
But I must say that I prefer how Pika animates images compared to Runway. I like both. We used both, but I think in the final product we have maybe 70%, 75% of Pika, and only 25 from Runway. But it's nice to have both, I guess. Sometimes you won't animate in one service, so you use both the other. How did you manage to get the lava to explode upwards and the woman pulls her hand back at the same time? You know, really trial and error. You Yeah, I like retry a lot of things. Um, Sometimes for one shot I just try like 30 times, and it's the only way. And also the other trick is to have several images almost looking the same but not the same. You don't have to be attached to one particular image, because sometimes it won't work. So if you are like 4 or 5 similar images, you just try and try and try and tweak your settings. It will work at some point, and if it doesn't work, try. You can always try, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Okay, awesome. I feel like, yeah, great presentation.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I feel like it's the time. And thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experience today. And the presentation was really helpful. It's a really it's a really practical presentation that people can like really try your tips and try your workflow. So thank you so much for this presentation, and yeah, hope everyone a great day today. Um, all right.
So
Bye,
thank you,
guys.
Jessie. Bye bye. Bye
Bye.
everyone.